Claudine,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just putting the 21 meeting dates on my calendar, and the 23rd of September isn't a Monday.
No, it's not. Mm.
And October, looks like September, October, and November.
It'll be September 20th, October 18th,
Okay,
November 22nd,
okay,
November 15th.
okay.
So what are the corrections again, please?
To be September 20th, October 18th, and November 15th.
Would you just use last year's schedule?
No, I guess if you look at it, you can see I did Monday, August 23rd, and then as I was typing them in from where they're written out, I just looked at August 23rd instead of September 20th. I can correct it after the meeting and send everybody a new hard copy of it.
That'd be great. And
Just make note of it when they vote on it.
I have not heard from Dave Mecklenburg that he will not be in attendance. So, Maureen, whenever you're ready.
Well, I'm sure I'm more than ready.
You let me know when you want me to start recording and all.
Well, you better get started recording now.
All right.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order then. I need the approval of the minutes of the October 19th, 2020 regular park board meeting. I need a motion for that.
So move.
Second.
Second, moved and seconded. Any discussion? Corrections? Hearing none. John, you want to call the roll call there?
Yes, Ms. Corey,
Aye.
Mr. Metzger. Aye. And Mr. Denny.
Aye. Okay, we need a motion to approval of general fund claims in the amount of $23,062.82. Non-reverting fund claims in the amount of $1,675.00. And a beautiful fund claim in the amount of $2,306.13 for a total of $27,043.95.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Any questions for anyone? Hearing none. John, you want a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Corey,
Aye.
Mr. Metzger,
Aye.
Mr. Denny.
Aye. Superintendent's report, Claudine.
I have a few items today, and I've invited Caitlin to join us. Neil is off today, so Caitlin's going to provide you with an overview of our Boo at the Zoo weekend and also provide you with a penguin exhibit report. So Caitlin?
Hi guys.
Hi.
We had a very successful Boo at the Zoo for 2020. We were really proud of our staff for pulling it together and making something that's really safe and able to the public and following CDC and health department guidelines. We were very successful. We had over 4,000 people come through our gates, which was really good since we were seeing our limited capacities each day. So we were really pleased with that. It was a 6-day event instead of a 3-night event. That we had to host it that way to get us around the health department guidelines. So we got great feedback from having it during the day. We had a ton of compliments really well received by the public. They were very excited to see that we were able to provide something to them, which we were happy to do as well. We are looking at roughly netting about $25,000 after expenses. So compare that to 2019, where we netted $27,000. It was a very successful year given our circumstances. And then, so that was Boo at the Zoo for 2020. Also on October 21st and 22nd, we had Robert Satchel come out to our penguin exhibit. He was the design engineer for our exhibit, just to make sure that we were up to specs and everything was looking good. We still have some tweaks that need to be made, but overall we're looking really great. We don't have a set date for our penguin arrival yet. We're still kind of getting some hiccups in our permit approval. So we're still a little bit delayed on that because of COVID.
Okay, thanks, Caitlin. And again, I wanted to commend the zoo team, Caitlin, Neil, and the entire zoo team for pulling it together for Boo at the Zoo Weekends COVID 2020. So again, the community really was excited to have something to do that was somewhat normal during these times of stress. And like Caitlin said, we got a lot of feedback that it was great for the little kids that came out. It was a 6-day event this year, but at least it was during the day. So we're able to do a really good job, and they were super creative and came up with some really fun things. And that's funding that's going to the Parks Foundation that will be utilized for improvement projects at the zoo specifically. So any questions for Caitlin?
Just
Okay.
good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Okay, next, Samantha is going to provide her monthly marketing update for us. A lot of things going on. Samantha?
Yes. So over the last month, we have conducted several media appearances. During our turf installation at Loeb Stadium, we lined up interviews between John Miner and WLFI, Star City News, and the Journal and Courier. Following that, as the seat installation began, we were able to lock in interviews on site with Mayor Rosworski and WLFI and Star City News as well. So those were very exciting for us. And as we start to see more of these major milestones happen over at Loeb and of course Memorial Island, I will continue to reach out and try to secure those story placements as possible. We have, I think I mentioned this in my last report, that we were getting ready to launch some sports how-to videos with the McAllister Recreation team. So we were able, the goal was to launch these videos in hopes that kids can utilize these to work on their skills from home as we start to see more shutdowns across schools and sports leagues. So, so far we have put out 2 different weeks of themed content. First, we launched 3 videos about the fundamentals of football. The Lafayette Jeff football team and Coach Shanley were gracious enough to help us create the content for those. The videos are available on our website under the McAllister Recreation Center's page. They are also on our Lafayette Parks YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. And so far, those football videos have had a total of 425 views. Next, we launched a week of volleyball themed content. And thanks to Coach Gripe and the Lafayette Jeff volleyball team, we were able to create content for those. We created 5 video tutorials, and so far those videos have had a total of, well, over 1,000 views in total. So those are doing really well. And our goal is to continue to create these sports how-to videos and put more of them out over the fall and upcoming winter ahead of us. And I think I will move into just some social media analytics and highlights that we've seen over the last month. Looking at our Lafayette Park social media, we've continued to see growth across the board. We have 90 new Facebook followers, 75 new Instagram followers, and 15 new Twitter followers. We've also got 12 new TikTok followers in the last month. And we set an internal goal for ourselves at the beginning of this year to reach 10,000 followers on Facebook by the end of this year. We started with just over 7,500, and we are currently at 9,883. So we are getting really close. So we're really excited about that. And just a few highlights. Our construction project update posts continue to perform the best, particularly our Loeb Stadium updates. In the last month, our best performing post on Facebook was about the turf installation at Loeb, which reached over 9,000 people. And I also wanted to share that we had our biggest TikTok reach yet, with more than 1,200 views on Instagram. I'm not sure if you guys saw the Ocean Spray Fleetwood Mac trending TikTok. It went viral, and we created our own version featuring our maintenance tech Josh on a gator making his way through the Crosser Sports Complex during our irrigation winterization. And that had, like I said, over 1,200 views, so that one did really well.
It's great.
Yeah, and so just taking a look at some of the zoo's social media analytics as well, our Boo at the Zoo post performed extremely well. We saw a lot of engagement, particularly with our pumpkin decorating contest and our costume contest posts, both of which we asked for the community to participate and vote for their favorites. The pumpkin contest post reached over 13,000. And our costume contest posts had a combined reach of more than 21,000. So those did really well. And, you know, we recognize that not everyone was comfortable attending Boo at the Zoo this year due to COVID concerns. So we felt that it was really important that we incorporated a virtual aspect to the event to be able to get people who aren't able to come out the opportunity to participate and engage with us. So we were really happy to see that those virtual elements were well received. I think that that's all that I have for my marketing report today.
So Samantha, I'm really fascinated by the how-to sports videos. I might like to actually look at those because I am really curious. Are these like position? Is it enough depth to do position training or?
So basically we did some very basic fundamentals. So for example, in volleyball, we did how to serve, how to set, how to spike, those kinds of things. And with football, it was how to catch a football, how to properly hold a football, those kinds of things. So just some very basic elements. When we originally thought of this idea, it was because we knew we were not going to be able to do the Sporties for Shorties, which would be teaching, you know, some of the younger age group some of those very basics. So that's kind of where the idea came from. And yeah, so it's a lot of really basics.
But still really a cool idea. And it's of everything we're doing, it's got a really kind of a universal appeal too. It strikes me that we might get some traffic from outside of our area. Are you able, just out of curiosity, to look at those posts and see how many of them are, and obviously you can't do this right this minute, but just wondering as news kind of spreads that other communities might actually find those videos pretty interesting themselves. So it'd be interesting to see where the hits are coming from.
Yeah, and I can definitely take a look at that and see based on location where our views are coming from.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anybody have any other questions for Samantha? Okay. The next project I want to provide you with an update on is the carousel project. If you've had an opportunity to walk through Columbian Park, you'll see that the carousel shade shelter structure has taken some dramatic shape now, and you can definitely tell what's supposed to go in there, at least something round. And we've received notification that the roofing panels will be delivered yet this week, and so they're making room on site to accommodate that delivery, and soon we'll be seeing the roofing panels go up. The triangular inlays with the pavers around the structure in the concrete have been installed, except for 2 areas where there was conflict because there's some work that needs to be done there. But it really is a pretty amazing structure. It's going to really be a nice addition for Columbian Park. Memorial Island, another project in which there's been some dramatic change. Right now, the focus has been on the remediation of the soil around the shoreline. They're working now on the North Lagoon, if you will, which is, again, they've separated it into 2 bodies of water, and they're working on the northern portion that is closest to Scott Street. And then they'll start laying the block. We noticed the past couple of days they've been spreading the blocks around in locations, staging them purposefully so that they can start doing the installation as soon as they're finished with the remediation. On the south side, they've done a really good job with installing most of the block, but they haven't put the cap on yet. So that's coming along. The actual amphitheater stage area, you can definitely see the dramatic changes there. They've been working on the concrete on the actual floor of this shade or the amphitheater structure. And then they've recently poured the footers for the North Bridge, which is off of Scott Street. So a lot of earthwork going on and a lot of folks on site moving things around. And it's really taking shape, getting a lot of compliments on the progress being made there. And then I'm going to turn it over to John, and he's going to provide you with a Loeb Stadium project update.
Thank you. Loeb Stadium, we continue to click right along. So the turf has been completely installed with all of the inlays and infill in. It looks magnificent. They are continuing the seat install. I was over there a little while ago, and it looks like they have got themselves almost halfway around the lower seating bowl, and continuing at that pace. Should have the seats in the lower seating bowl installed either by tomorrow or Wednesday. Sidewalks along Main Street have been poured. They continue to pour up around the corner of Wallace and Main, just right outside of the offices and the ticket windows. We've also had some concrete poured along Wallace. This week, you will see they have a lot of asphalt work being done along Wallace near the zoo parking lot, between 24th and Park Avenue as well. And I do believe they'll have a little bit of asphalt work up around from 24th over to Main as well. So a lot of work continues to go on the exterior. Soon they will start moving indoors to begin the finishing touches inside the locker rooms, storage area, suite level. A lot of the glass is up on the front of the suite level, so that provides a really neat look when you're over there. And I was over there earlier on the suite level. Looked like they were installing some duct work for HVAC and a lot of stuff overhead. So continues to be very exciting to see the progress on a weekly basis at Loeb Stadium.
Thanks, John. And that's going to conclude the superintendent's report for this board meeting.
Okay. All I gotta do is find, there it is. So the next thing we have would be the resolution 20-04, which is a holiday schedule.
Mhm.
I'll read that resolution quickly here. It says, be it resolved by the Lafayette City Park and Recreation that the 2021 holiday schedule for the Department of Parks and Recreation will coincide with the schedule adopted by the City of Lafayette on the attached schedule. Do I have a motion to accept that?
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Claudine, any discussion particularly?
No, this has been adopted by the Board of Works and it's pretty straightforward. This is identical to what was adopted by the Board of Works.
Any questions that anyone has? Yes. Hearing none. John, would you do roll call, please?
Yes, Ms. Corey,
Aye.
Mr. Metzger,
Aye.
Mr. Denny.
Aye. Next thing on our agenda would be the adoption of the non-reverting budget for 2021. In order to be it resolved by the Lafayette City Board of Park and Recreation that in order to provide quality park facility to the general public, the Park and Recreation Board approves the attached budget for the park non-reverting fund for the year 2021, subject to availability of funds as confirmed by the City of Lafayette Controller. Do I have a motion for this, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any questions before I see that we have Jeremy and Tim both here? Does anyone have any questions for either one of those, or does Tim want to say anything?
Sure, Maury. I hope everyone was in receipt of the narrative and all of the other documents, line by line, both revenue and expenses for the non-reverting fund. As we all know, 2020 has been quite a challenge. And I want to give special thanks to John and Claudine and also Jeremy Deal. All four of us spent time reviewing, thinking, discussing what we think 2021 is going to be like. And if you would have told me we would have this many cases of COVID-19 right now, I would say that you were dead wrong back in April. But I don't think any of us really know what's going on. But we designed this budget to be very conservative because a lot of our revenues are based on our ability to not social distance and to group up and swim and go to camps and do all those fun things that we're so accustomed to doing. And I sure hope that we can get back to that point sooner rather than later. So we went a conservative route. This is the amount of revenue we thought we would have. They are smaller and in total about, it looks like $37,000 less in what we're projecting in 2021 compared to 2020. So hopefully we are dead wrong. But that being the case, we have then adjusted our expenses to match up with our revenue. And Claudine and John will definitely keep a good pulse of how things are going once we enter into the new year and get into the aquatic season and the camps and all that. And we could certainly make adjustments to this budget if the pools were going to go gangbusters and have great attendance and the camps and all that. So we're just going to play it by ear as we go along. And again, I appreciate everyone's attendance this afternoon and appreciate your support of this budget and ultimately your approval. Thank you.
Any questions for Tim? Hearing none, are we ready for the question then? John?
Sure. Ms. Corey,
Aye.
Mr. Metzger,
Aye.
Mr. Denny.
Aye. Okay, all right. We need a motion to retire. Oh, what's this here? Now, the board must vote on this. And this is just the declaration of the domestic polecat, correct?
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely.
Yeah, we need a motion for declaring surplus property for the domestic the
Ricky.
control cat
That's right.
as on attachment B.
Ricky, the ferret.
Ricky, I'll move. I mean, we really should table this until Dave's here, but
Yeah.
I'll move.
Second.
Second. Do we need any discussion on this? Hearing none, John. Pardon?
Dare I ask where Ricky's going?
They have found a home for Ricky and Caitlin. I could probably give you more details, but it's a ferret that I believe is 6 years old that has been retired from education and is ready to live out the rest of its ferret life in blissful retirement.
Awesome. That's important.
That's right.
John, I think we're more
All
than
right.
ready for the vote.
Ms. Corey,
I,
Mr. Metzger,
Aye.
and Mr. Denny.
Aye. Made us a little nervous there for a second there, Matt.
Couldn't find the right button.
here, someone's got to add a little, friction to things.
Going to force Maury to be the tie-breaking vote.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to have correct dates. Our next thing is our 2021 park board meetings. We do have to vote on this, correct, Claudine?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So can you give me, I think we're all right through August. So what were the corrections after that, please, John?
Monday, September the 20th is the correct date. Monday, October the 18th. Monday, November 15th. And I believe December is correct. Let me double check December. Yes, December 13th is correct. So that date is correct. So those September, October, November need corrected. And I'll make those corrections after the meeting and send a new schedule.
With those corrections for September, October, and November, do I have a motion to accept the 2021 park board meetings as given to us on attachment D?
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion? John, I think we're ready for the roll call then, please.
It's Corey,
I,
Mr. Metzger,
Aye.
and Mr. Denny.
Aye. Communication, do we have any communications, John?
We have no written communications.
Okay. Communication from the board? From the public?
Mm-mm.
Okay, hearing none, all I need is a motion for adjournment then.
so move.
Second.
Roll call?
Ms. Corey,
I.
Mr. Metzger,
Aye.
Mr. Denny.
Aye. Hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving and thank you to everyone for